3, but he does 11. He will dig, you just can't even believe it.
This didn't come from God or a good place. This came from a bad place.
I saw the gates of heaven, and I wasn't allowed to go in because I knew God was protecting me the whole time.
Chip is a hilarious kid because he's like a little man.
He is a great kid. Loves all things man. Looking back, it's more clear. And there were just subtle changes in his gait. He was more listless, not as engaging as he normally was.
Their pediatrician ran batteries of tests and finally recommended an MRI.
What's abnormal is this stuff right here. That's not supposed to be there, and that's his tumor.
A tumor that had invaded his brain stem and spread down his spine. Metastatic anaplastic medulloblastoma.
Then when he turned to look at us, we knew we were at the right place. Because he was doing what I'm doing when he told us.
6 months after the surgery, Chip is, as his father says, still in the belly of the beast. For now, Chip is mute, a side effect of the surgery, one expected to improve.
Chip, can you nod? Show us how you nod, yes and no, yes.
That is so huge.
Stand up, come on. Tighten those muscles up, Chip. There you go.
Today is painful.
I'm usually in here with him when he's doing physical therapy. Just watching him go through this, it's really hard.
From across the room, Chip hears what Jack says and begins to cry.
That must be, you know.
There's things that I won't be able to walk as long and as far as I used to, but
Okay.
I do want to get back to
One hand, opposite foot.
I call him the beast. He has a heart of a lion.
Instead of focusing on how far he has to go, Chip celebrates how far he's come with statements like this.
There's nothing really wrong with me now.
When it comes to fighting aggressive cancer, there is no precise roadmap for parents to follow. No guaranteed guide how to save your child's life. And for the Madrens, there have been far too many moments spent in the darkness praying for answers and healing. Now they know that even during the worst, when they couldn't help their son, Chip was not alone.
How much has God had his hands on our family? He has had his hands under our family. He's been the footsteps in the sand.
Keep going, keep going, keep going. Go, go, go.
Good, one more back in and we'll take a breather. Good, and all the way back down.
Very beginning, when Chip was in the hospital, in the ICU, when Casper came and got in bed with Chip, we knew that Chip needed a dog.
I would like to be able to walk with the dog.
You say her name? Can you say it? Vera. Vera. Watching this dog come in and looked up at Chip and really said with her eyes, you know, where have you been? Where have you, I've been waiting for you. Where have you been? I'm looking for you.
That's so cute.
It was emotional. There you go. Because you could tell that there was an automatic bond.
Vera, Doug.
Chip takes Vera home, where they begin the hard work of becoming a team. Vera learns to anticipate his needs, how to help him, how to love him.
What are you grateful for?
Life.
5 years ago, I had made a promise to Chip. When you get over this, we're going to Montana to hunt deer together. And 5 years later, here we are.
Awesome.
Well, I'm here at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta with a really special visit. I'm going to surprise Chip with this trip to the Milk River that I promised him 5 years ago. He has no idea, but he is going to be so excited. You slip this to whoever can do it.
Yep, and we've made arrangements with her.
And they can just give him that whole packet.
Right.
Hey, man! Golly, that's awesome. So he's doing most of this.
Yep, he's doing all of this right now.
Chip, someone dropped something off in the mail for you earlier. It was on my desk.
Oh,
Montana.
Montana.
That's all I can read.
Combination hunting license for Chip Madren.
What?
We're going to the Milk River, dude.
No.
Yes, we are. Next month.
Awesome.
Did you know that?
No.
Are you in, or you want to take a rain check?
No. I've been thinking about that ever since. I've been watching the TV shows.
Well, you're
The
going.
Monster Buck TV shows.
And you've seen enough of the Milk River. This time, we're going to be watching Chip Madren at the Milk River.
This has been so held on to, hopes of doing things like this. It's just such a powerful motivator, and I'm excited for you.
Cool. Good.
Yep, you ready, bud?
Yeah. David promised me this trip 5 years ago. Well, we're in Montana today. Right? Everything's right. The deer gonna be real close up, I'm thinking. Coming out the corner over here. So I think that's gonna be a challenge, but if we get past that, it should be good.
Chip, here comes a buck. Just take your time. Got plenty of time. That's it, dude.
I could see him good.
You got him, buddy.
And I could feel myself.
What do you think?
I could see him really good. And I could feel myself starting to get shaky. I was like, oh, I need to shoot.
You did great. That is what you did at 10 point. 4 years ago, we didn't know if you were going to make it.
Yeah.
But I prayed every day and thought, Lord, if he does make it, don't take the outdoors away from him.
It's awesome. I can't wait to go see him. Oh, that is awesome. This is the deer that I shot in Montana with y'all. His body is huge. I have a secret marinade, AKA bacon grease. Oh,
Let's go. Oh, man. You ready?
close that.
Close it. Oh, that one's really looking nice. Let me see what's going on here. No.
You want to feel the inside of your thumb right there? That's about medium rare. Cut it off
Cut it off. Cut it off. All right.
and smoke it out.
Yeah. Smoke it out.
Gotta put onions all over.
Right?
And that onion juice soaks in there. Mm-mm.
Good. Alrighty. Chip.
I don't.
Man, that's unreal, isn't it?
Hey guys,
Jim Madren here. A hard fought battle with brain cancer really gave me a new meaning to the word alive and living. It changed my perspective a lot. My goal is to help everybody get up, get out, and go enjoy the outdoors. No matter what your ability level is, results evolve. Doing a little bit of everything. I was 13 and I was in school that morning. Just started 7th grade, and it was about a week into it, and mom and dad came and picked me up from school one day, and really that night I was in brain surgery. I had brain tumor, bad brain tumor. Let's see, we were in the hospital for the first stint was, I think, 19 months was the first stint, and then there, I don't know how many times after that. I had like 17 surgeries, a lot of other stuff that was not fun. The one thing I will say about all that, I believe that when that started, I was given a gift by the one and only. And it was to never feel pain. I felt no pain at all. And that it's some pretty stuff that should have hurt pretty bad. And the other thing, which is odd, that I've come to realize through all that, I didn't know what I had until after the whole thing was done. For some reason, I never heard the word cancer. And I think we all know.
I told him. I did tell him. That was a hard thing. I can't believe you didn't hear me. It's like clean up your closet.
Well, I think there was one man in charge.
He was.
And he was blocking me from hearing that.
That was a good plan. Yep.
So that was neat. How that all worked. Somebody's there. And then after that, after I got better from the surgery, to get the brain tumor out, they had to split my cerebellum. That caused me to lose everything. I mean, I was mute for 10 months, could only breathe through my nose, couldn't move anything when I wanted, couldn't reach my arm out, couldn't blow through my mouth, much less talk. And that lasted 10 months. And then I slowly started gaining it all back, and doing multiple rehab sessions. like we did rehab for 6 or 7 years before we finally decided, you know, this is better. This is what better is. It's, you can either stay in rehab for who knows how long, or you call this better, move on with life and start living and get a job and finish school and do all that stuff, which that was my decision to do. So we did all that. I was lucky enough to, I did a lot of hunting and outdoors through a foundation called the Outdoor Dream Foundation. One of the social workers brought me this letter when I was in the hospital. It said, you know, write down your 3 bucket list hunting or fishing things that you want to do. So I was like, well, I didn't say anything, but I thought to myself, well, might as well give the, you know, everything you could think of. So I wrote down, of course, the big ones, elk, and I don't even remember what else I wrote.
Sheep, moose, Africa. Yeah, you were the Grand Slam.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you're offering, I'm taking.
So I wrote that down, and little did I know they'd email us back a week later. When you get better, we're taking it to Oregon to shoot an elk. And that was pretty good medicine for me.
I just put it all together. That was the day after I told you about cancer, and you heard elk, and that was it. I just, after all these years,
that could have happened. So I heard that, and that's a form of medicine that nobody talks about, because I kept that and the hunt that you saw in the video that Dave Blanton offered me. I focused on that more than focusing all the bad stuff that was happening day to day. Like, you gotta have this surgery, you gotta take this medicine, which is gonna make you feel like crud. You gotta go to this radiation. Yeah. So I went with them. I got in with that group. I went hunting with them for a lot of other things. Turkeys, alligators, deer, you name it. And there was a guy there who was actually a law enforcement officer for Georgia, because they did a lot of hunting in Georgia and stuff. Although they were based out of Anderson, South Carolina, they still did a lot in Georgia. And he wanted to take me to meet the commissioner of DNR and meet the governor, which at that time was I think Sonny.
Yep. Yep.
And I went down there and we were hanging out and talking about all that we did and hanging out with the commissioner, and we went to lunch and all their stuff. Well, at the end of the day, the commissioner at the time, his name was Mark, and he said, Chip, is there anything I can do for you? And as we were rolling out the door, I turned around and said, yeah, I want a job. You can imagine.
Can I just interject here? These nice people had invited him down to host him today. I'm Ken Madren. I'm his luggage handler. And they were just as kind and cordial. He's hobnobbing with Governor Perdue, you know, first name. That's Sonny. Not to us, but to Chip. And rolling out the door, he asked that question. And his mom, Leah, here, and I thought if we could throw this kid out the window, we would. But he had an answer.
And we gave him about a week to get back to us. And sure enough, he sent us an email with the list of things that I could do to help them. I think first I was just with Wildlife Resources helping train cadets, which are young law enforcement officers upcoming. And then after that, I worked at the shooting range. They did rifles and shotguns. Now, I did have a lot of people say, you're letting a legally blind and legally deaf person show us how to handle firearms safely. It didn't sound right, but it worked. So I did that for 5 years, and now I am where I am now. And being the commissioner now, have been working on a new program that I and him came up with together. We call it Outdoors Beyond Barriers. You'll probably hear me say OBB because in DNR, I don't know if y'all
It's
know,
all acronyms and those big
acronyms
yeah.
are everywhere. But that program is to take anyone that has a disability. They can be in a wheelchair, they can be, you know, whatever. Take them hunting and fishing. And that's what we've been doing. The program actually started last year. There was a fundraiser event down at Sea Island, where it's the non-game species right.
Yep. Yep.
That's the main objective, but they always do like one special thing that they want to work on that year. And I got up on stage just like this. Me and Nick got up on stage. I have a track chair, which is like a track style wheelchair. They can hydraulically stand me up. It's pretty cool. And we spoke that night for about 10 minutes on this program. And now this room had some high rollers in it. I mean, serious
It's a good
high
room.
rollers.
It was a good room. Yeah.
And we won 470,000 in 10 minutes.
Yeah, you were on a roll that night.
I mean, I'd never seen it.
Yep. Yep. What'd you call it? What'd you tell him? You need a little what?
Seed money. I need a little seed money to get this thing started. And
they gave him some seed money, all right. Now they made you work.
Yeah,
Yes.
It was crazy that night. It was just crazy. Anyways, that bought. We have a big trailer, 7 Eco River chairs or track chairs, pretty much the same thing, although these don't stand up because that has to be more custom fit. We have 7 of those. We have tat cams, which is a shooting device. We have all kinds of rod holders, rods, tackle box, gun rest, gun mounts, got a apparatus that will actually drive the gun for you, and you just sit there and play it like a video game almost.
So can I hop in here for a second?
Yep.
Just to give you a little context on this. So throughout that journey, how long has it been with DNR now? How long have you been with DNR? Total of 7. So on the front end, it was the gun thing, which may have been ill-advised, although there were no accidents. It all went well. But then there was this transition. He became friends with all of the commissioners and most recently Commissioner Rabin. And we've just been afforded so much. If I went back one more step beyond this, there's many in this room that were also the lifting hands when we were going through the front round of cancer. And some of those folks, lots of those folks gave us money on the front end. And fortunately, we had great insurance. We didn't need that money, but we had it. So we started a foundation, and there's been this mentality to give back. Well, Chip and the commissioner were talking about that. And the commissioner asked Chip, what would you like to see more in the outdoors? And he said, more wheelchairs. I don't see anybody like me in the woods. And he thought, just like the preceding commissioner did, that's a good idea. Let's start a program. Sea Island, the money, the track chairs, and a program, a career path for a couple of folks in DNR. And the mission is, if there's anybody in the state of Georgia that wants to come out of a situation like Chip had or any other situation where their mobility is impaired, we want to put out a red carpet and introduce them into the outdoors. So you you all own and have access to this equipment.
Yeah.
The state makes it available now, so there were no disability hunts. Today there are 7, 1 in each region.
7 private land deer hunts, but there's dove hunts, there's, well, 7 public land deer hunts.
7 hunts, dove hunts, fish from 0. Now there are
Doves, private land hunts, I'd say 14.
So the main thing we'd ask of you, we'd certainly love to engage you on any questions you may have about our journey in faith or our interest in the outdoors or anything you'd like to ask about. But it's a huge congregation. We enjoyed coming here. My granddaughter was baptized here just not too long ago. She just turned 1. Oh, she's turning 1 tomorrow, right? Tomorrow's the 1. What we find in the disabled community or the mobility impaired community is challenge, a lot like what Chip had. And a lot of times people in wheelchairs don't connect with a person like me as directly as they might with someone like Chip. So the mission is to somebody who's in their shoes, somebody who's facing similar challenges. So the mission is get out and meet the people where they are and let them know what you have. And introduce them to participate in the state's benefit. And I'm so proud of our Department of Natural Resources for making all of this available. We have a very motivated group. It's a big company. There's 4,000 employees. They're in every corner of the state, and you should see when all these able-bodied folks who work in our outdoors show up to help the folks who do show up. It's story after story, just like Chip. Could be a late life stroke survivor, could be someone who's lost a leg to a car accident, anything that is a challenge or a setback. And in many cases, they feel like life's not going to be the same. What can I go and do? And life's not going to be the same, but there's plenty you can go and do. And that's what this outreach is about. So we've got a little PowerPoint presentation we'd like to show at the end. So that you're aware and you can direct people that you may know of. You don't have to go far, as we all know, to find somebody who's had a malady or an event or something along those lines. So this is really about awareness of our faith walk, but also awareness of how that faith walk walks through our state and through our communities to aid some other folks. So they really have an armada when they show up, and the key is participation. How many people? That's the real story here. Talk about how many people. Talk about who you brought.
So there we had last year. I know it has exact numbers.
Does
on
it?
The PowerPoint.
Oh, well, we'll run through it.
Oh yeah, that was pretty touching. I was with this guy. It was actually one of our test hunts for this program. Dad was out of town. It was me and Mom. Mom's driving my 16-foot trailer with 2 track chairs.
In the dark.
In the dark, in the woods. Yes, yes, yes. That's what you do when you go hunting.
Yeah. And we had to be there at 5 in the morning, drive the chairs off and go back and get people and all that stuff. We got back and got in chairs. I was guiding that hunt, and we were going to the blind that morning, and the guy Gary, was over next to this tree. And of course I went over and, what's up? Are you all right? He's like, yeah. I just haven't been able to walk in the woods on my own for 40 years. That's pretty cool.
That's what this program's doing. It's cool. It's really cool. So yes, get a license, support it because that's what supports it. Is there a slide that you're driving? Yeah, do it. Yeah, push go. That's the name of the program.
I'm generally an outdoorsman. I've been hunting ever since I was little, doing everything I can outdoors. Being outside just makes me feel at home.
The state of Georgia has really embraced adaptive hunting, hunter accessibility as a track share program, and it allows people to enjoy Georgia's outdoors.
These shares can make a lot of things possible. I like it. Give it a shot. I think you will too.
It's accessible through the DNR
generally
website. And if there's anybody that you know that's interested in any way, shape, or form, direct them there. And I think the goal, what's your target this year? 100 people?
100. Yep.
You got it last year, except the hurricanes took the first 2 hunts. So 75 people that are in similar conditions, all stories very much like the first half of this presentation. It's humbling to go to those things and hear their stories. But it's built a sense of community amongst the people who participate.
It's amazing what some people will do, and a lot of people like me will do for something they love. It's a humbling experience, as he said.
So we're touring all across the state. We'd love to send your friends and family members. If you've got anybody that you think might benefit from it. And with that.
Fishing program in Sandy Springs at Overlook Park, which is Morgan Falls, this Friday.
Yep. You'll be there, right?
Yeah.
Yep. Does that mean I'm going to be there?
I'm actually not supposed to go to that.
Oh, we're going to the one.
I have to go.
We're going Saturday to a different.
to
So
a different
Linda will be there.
Yeah.
So, why don't you open it up to anything anybody might want to talk about?
So, yeah, if any of y'all have questions or comments, I love this part.
All right, I've got my own microphone, so I'll ask the first question. And I'm going to try to ask it without getting emotional myself. But so in the video, Chip, you had a service dog.
Yes.
And my question I have always wondered about that is that's obviously a very special relationship above and beyond just a pet, right?
Yes.
But we tend to outlive dogs. How does the service dog program work? Is there a point at which the service dog is no longer working and becomes a family pet? When they go back to the program? How does that all
So, when I got picked, which, this place canine assistance, which, Chip Nation, donates to, or actually buying another dog for a different place.
Camp Twin Lakes.
But once you get selected, which it's a needs-based waiting list at this place. So it's not just a money grab. you don't pay for the dogs. It's a needs-based waiting list. And I went there and trained with the dog for 2 weeks. The dog that actually picked me, as weird as that sounds, it actually happens. It was pretty amazing. They brought in 3 dogs and gave me a handful of treats. And yeah, of course they're gonna come to you, but the first one came in, basically jumped on my lap, mauled me for the treats, jumped on Mom's, everybody in the room, the canine people, and got the rest of the treats, and was interested in everybody else. The second one came in, which was Vera, and came right to me, sat down right there, looked me in the eye, and I gave her some treat. And then the person that was in there from Canine said, look at her and tell her to lay down with your eyes. So I did. She laid right down. It was like nothing I'd ever seen before.
No, it was like nothing that you can imagine. You have to experience it a little bit more of God's plan at work. We went in, we were super focused on walking. At that time, we were going to get better. Better meant something like what we had in the past, and walking was a big part of that. So they have gate dogs. So our whole focus was, we're getting a gate dog. Well, Vera was the smallest dog in the group. She could not be a gate dog, but she was many other things. And it was the right choice. It was the right timing. She's passed. Vera has passed.
Really an angel on earth.
She really was. No doubt about that. And some of y'all in the room know that and can attest to that. But to answer the question specifically, you get them when they're 2. They're because they've been through a lot of socialization with other folks. They're all super trained. Those other 2 dogs that didn't behave well with Chip went on to other children, and they behaved beautifully.
There's videos in my class. I think there was 7 of us. That those other dogs came into other kids' rooms and did the same thing. For other kids.
So when you're in the system, you got a dog for life. Now, service life-wise, about 10 years, but you have an option at that point to keep the dog. But some people have very great needs of the dog's use and a disability to maintain 2 dogs. There's some people here that we know that live independently, entirely, quadriplegic, them and the dog. So taking care sometimes goes back to canine assistance, but they reload with another dog. In our case with Camp Twin Lakes, Chip was also a beneficiary of Camp Twin Lakes early, and Bijou is the current dog that we've been fortunate enough to sponsor there through some generous giving to Chip's Foundation. And Bijou's reaching that age where she can't do as much. She's going to stay with the current owner and be an ambassador to Camp Twin Lakes, but a new dog is coming to Camp Twin Lakes to do all the heavy lifting.
Like 10 or 12 years old.
Yeah, I can't remember. How old's Bijou? 9.5. So she's coming up on that 10.
Slowing down, you know.
But it's a cool service. They're right up here in Alpharetta.
Yeah.
They send dogs all over the country. And it is amazing to see. Another great gift that we've experienced.
Although I like to go outside, and hunt and fish and do all that, play in the mud, ride tractors all day, that kind of thing. Vera did not
She's a city girl.
like that.
Yeah. Yeah, she was a city girl. Yeah.
She didn't like water. She didn't like
Guns, no guns. Bad
No.
guns are bad, which is good for service dogs to think that way. Yeah,
Yep.
yep,
So
yeah.
that's part of the reason I don't have one now, but she literally helped save my life. She was that my best friend, and the best thing they do then nobody really knows. But when you have a dog with you all the time, people come down to your level to talk about whatever dog, whatever it is.
In a wheelchair, that's kind of a neat thing.
Yeah.
She had a lot of skills, but that intangible was probably her best trait.
Yeah.
Yeah. Other questions?
Can you tell us a little bit about your faith story, where you have a strong faith before all this happened, and how's it developed?
Like I went to school at St. Jude, which is right down the road from here. That's where I went to elementary school, Catholic school, all that. But I say cancer has probably brought me closer to God than I've ever been. Like I shared earlier, I believe he gave me some, gifts while I was sick. Like I said, I didn't feel anything, and I really should have. There was one time when I was getting better, and the surgeon's nurse was taking staples out of my head. And dude, these suckers look like staples that come out of a wood staple gun. And I was like, what? That came out? No.
I'm gonna need those.
And yeah, I didn't feel anything. So that was kind of the first thing that made me believe. And then after multiple doctors had said I wasn't gonna make it, I'm still here today. And when I had cancer, yes, it was brain cancer, but metastatic means it moved. So I had it all down my spine. It looked like somebody shot me in the back with a bird shot, and it was everywhere, little bits of it everywhere. And that's what all the radiation was. But and the surgeon said this, which the surgeon has become really, really special. all that got gone. And yeah, the radiation probably helped, but the surgeon said there, we don't see that. It's got to be done, you know, by something, a higher power, that don't clear out. And I know that was a God. And I know y'all probably want to hear about going to heaven, like you saw on the video. Really, all I remember is one night I was in the big, I call it the big scare room in the hospital with all the lights and blah, 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 blah. And I don't even know what it all is. But that night I flatlined for a few minutes. I only know that because of them. And I remember it as just basically a road that was kind of like a circle staircase up into the sky. And the gate that I saw wasn't anything fancy.
Farm gate.
I knew what it was. I don't know how, but I knew what it was. And y'all can probably figure out why. And I didn't see anybody. I walked up there, put my hand on the gate, tried to open it. It was locked. And I don't know why, but I turned around and walked back down. Well, went back down somehow. And that's what I remember from that. It wasn't anything extravagant. I think it's different for different people. But that's what I saw.
So imagine this. To answer your question, we have always been a family of faith. Grandparents, grandmothers introduced in the church early, Methodist church, Catholic church, and all of our sons. Moreover, we have been surrounded in communities of faith. This community, the St. Jude community, we've been constantly surrounded by it. But I think maybe, I don't want to speak for Chip, but I guess there's always this question, you're seeking that reassurance. Maybe I haven't sought it in a long time, but as a younger person, I did. And so that story, Chip was mute. We communicated yes, no, left and right hands. For 10 months, we were putting iPads on his chest so that he could be entertained. He couldn't see. We didn't know that. And we did all of that. And then this 11 Alive lady comes when he can begin to start talking. And in the second interview, he revealed what you saw and what he just talked about. And first time we had heard it, but we remember the room very specifically because it was the room. Most cancer passings die from some adjuvant or caused from some adjuvant side effect from a treatment. And it was right in the depth of the chemo stuff. So if you get one little infection, you don't have any white blood counts. And that's where he was. And they gave him medicine to stop the infection, but that poisoned his bloodstream. And that was the overnight in the ICU. And he did flatline. And so we had not heard any of that. We were certainly in the room and we knew what was going on, but it immediately resonated because we remembered time and place, and he didn't. So I guess, you know, an interesting question that I think about is, okay, there's proof, but don't we see it every day? Don't we see it every day? Do we need that? And that's a good thing, and that's an interesting story. But here we are, we're in a chair. We did not graduate high school. We are blind. We can't hear. If we left this room, he'd have a hard time getting out of here. Yet he's running around the state with people taking, okay, which is more proof of faith? And if we look at a lot of things less dramatic in our life, can we see it that way? And I think in my faith life, and maybe in Leah's faith life, we're more aware of those things and look at that more. I'm not going to say perfectly, because a lot of times I don't see it, but boy, if you look for it, you can find it. And that's what I would say about my experience with it. Anything else? Does this fit in keeping with the ministry? Yeah, helpful. Breakfast was great. Thank you. Our Department of Natural Resources has left intro packets for anybody who would take them. Please do, and help us look for people, because there's nothing more heartwarming than seeing a new face show up at one of these events and making a new friend. So think about that and pass it along in the community. Thank you all very much.
We do want to thank you for your presence with us here today, for your love of outdoors, your love of ministry. I know Bijan. I know the dog.
Yeah.
She's one of my neighbors, Jill Morris.